Number 15, Madison Marks in the circle. She did fantastic, but clearly offense was kept at bay. Here's the lineup for the Saints, much the same with just a change here or there, as it's Amanda Penny leading off playing second base, Taylor Sheilak second playing center field, and Olivia Conti third shortstop. Nothing's changed there. Alexis Martino in right field, Mia Fernandez in as a DP, and Madison Ryder in left field. Emma Crisafulli bat seventh, plays first. Madeline Parrish, who came in to pinch run in the fifth inning of game number 1, will be getting the start behind the dish here in game number 2. Bats eighth, and Christina Winstead at third base. And we will learn more about Mackenzie Briggs, the freshman pitcher, is having herself a decent season in just a bit. Defensively, here is how Wheaton is aligned. In left field, it's going to be Allison Weston. Moving over to center field is going to be Juliette Zito. In a right field, like last time, Jillian Rowan. Around the horn, Bree Agan at third base. Lindsay Oliveira at shortstop. Second baseman Ella Molinari and Peyton Blankenheim Brown now moving over to play first base, with Riley Dolan doing the catching for Amber Arkand. Arkand on the season, 3.66 ERA, a 1.50 whip, 2-4 record, her 11th appearance, 7th start, 44 innings pitched, has a save out of the bullpen, 29 runs, 23 of those being earned, 13 walks, 18 strikeouts, and 280 batting average against for her. That one gets under the glove of Blankenheim Brown, and it's the first base runner, Petty, this time get on via the single. So no Sophia Knopp here as she gets the day off. Most likely went yesterday against MIT. And after this being a non-conference game, you have conference games coming up. Give her a day of rest. That's okay. In there for a strike on Taylor Sheilak. The Endicott transfer takes strike 2 and started her career as a second-team All-CCCer, patrolling the outfield of the Endicott softball complex. Spent many an afternoon there in my time at Endicott College broadcasting games. As she gets on the board for the first time, she gets a base knock. Some really good goals teams, and the table is set for Olivia Conti, who even with had a double, struck out, and flew out her first game. Takes it high. The all-time home run leader in Saints history, the fastest player to reach 100 career hits. Both of those feats last year accomplished. And again, what more can you say? Three-time first-team All-GNAC, trying to go 4 for 4 here in her senior season. Already 5 home runs, 25 RBI. GNAC Rookie of the Year. Been a Conference Player of the Week 4 times. Plays probably the most important position on the field. Fields her position well. Steals bases. Hits for average, hits for power, walks. Doesn't strike out a whole bunch. Like literally as close to the perfect softball player as you can get. I'm sure if they let her pitch, she'd do just fine, too. Jumps on that 3-1 fastball. Trouble. Zito there to make the catch. Got to it eventually, moving over from left field to center field in this game and fielding it just fine. First out is a highlight for the Lions. Foul back. First strike for Alexis Martino. Outside for a ball. It's 1 out, 2 runners on as Emmanuel probably their best scoring chance today between this game and the other one as runner on second, no out. With the counts 2-2. Get 1 out. Jumps on that one, fouls it back. Still here at 2-2. 1 out. That was the Conti fly out. A single for Penny, a single for Sheilak. And here we are. Fouls off yet another one. Staying alive is Martino, the freshman who plays on the corners in the outfield and the infield. Merrimack, New Hampshire. Full count now. Spoils off yet another one. Really making Arcand work here. Arcand won't put you away. Only 18 strikeouts through 44 innings pitched. Doesn't walk many either. 13 in that same amount. And they're going to go the easy way for one. Both runners advance up. Fernandez could really use a big hit here. Did get a single in the end in the 7th inning of game 1. So far, 8 RBI in her freshman campaign. And could really use a couple more here. As a well-placed hit, could just do that. Pop straight up. And fouled straight back. When the wind is blowing, it's blowing straight in, but we've had these little lulls of just nothing. And if you wanted to get some power hits in, it's when that wind just dies down. In there for strike 3, and Arkin gets out of the jam. So the first 2 batters reach. 1, 2, 3 go the 3rd, 4th, and 5th batters of the inning. In a backwards K for Arkin, her first of the day. Let's meet the Lions here in just a minute. And we are back here at Clark Field. Hui Xiaofu here on the call, and here's the new lineup for the Wheaton Lions as we head into game number 2. Juliet Zito moved to center field. She bats first. Ella Molinari bats second place, and Peyton Blankenheim-Brown moving over to first base, moving up in the order as well. Briegan at third base. Ashlyn Burt, the designated player, wears 6, bats 5th. Lindsay Oliveira, the shortstop for both Game 1 and Game 2. She wears 5, bats 6th. Amber Arcan, the pitcher, will bat 7th. Riley Dolan, the catcher, will bat 8th, wears 12th. And Jillian Rohan in the 9 spot plays right field. Allison Weston, the flex position, will play left field, won't bat. And here's the defensive lineup for the Saints. Again, pretty much same thing as last time. It's going to be Ryder, Sheilak, and Martineau, your left to right in the outfield. And then it's going to be Winstead, Conti, Penny, and Chrissa Foley at first base, with the only new addition being Madeline Parrish behind the dish. Zito made a remarkable catch in the first inning, trying to follow that up with some good offense here. Really manufactured her own run in the top of the first. Walked, stole second, advanced to third on a wild pitch, and tagged up from a ball that was just barely out of the infield and scored. Liner to Penny. She's there to put it away. And the first out is a line drive right to second base. Our pitcher here is Mackenzie Briggs, a GNAC All-Rookie. Last year, a 4.22 ERA, a 1.48 WHIP, 5-4 record, and has pitched now in 14 games, started in 10 of them. Has 58 innings under her belt this year, 47 runs, 35 earned, 26 strikeouts, but the long ball's been an issue. 6 home runs given up. Threw a perfect game in college already under her belt. GNAC Pitcher of the Week for that performance. A GNAC All-Rookie a year ago, too. All-State, 2-time All-Division in high school, and is a nursing major at Emmanuel. Now she has to go against this Wheaton lineup that threw up just 3, but a pretty well-earned 3 runs in game number 1. Get me over fastball, or looked like a changeup, does just that and gets over. In the air, diving catch by Ryder in left field. Acrobatics out there all game for both teams. That's some good fielding on display here. As a line out and a star in the scorebook. Ryder, great catch, full extension. Brings up Blankenheim-Brown, and she is going to reach. Again, interested to see what that is going to be scored, so we'll wait officially until that's deemed an error or a hit. But either way, she starts her afternoon off at first base. And they will say E6. Good call there. Briegan. Backs away from ball number 1. Looking up and down this Wheaton roster statistically, there's a couple players that have good offensive numbers, but no one really that jumps out at you like a Conti does. A lot of just okay OPSs, and the players with high OPSs, they're not slugging too much. Zito a 575 slug, and it's good for just a 379 slugging percentage. But when you say that, even with Conti and a couple other players with home runs, it's only a 375 slugging percentage. But the batting average difference actually favors Emmanuel. And the on-base doesn't favor Wheaton. But looking at a quick glance at just the lineup, it just doesn't seem that way. But they able to get runs. They haven't really had an issue doing that so far. They scored 108 runs as opposed to 134 Emmanuel has in a few less games. They only allow just over 2 runs a game, or about 3 runs a game, so all they need to get to is that number of 3 or 4. Hagan thought she had ball 4. Umpire thinks otherwise. She'll go down by way of the K. Back-to-back half innings where a backward strikeout ends things, and that we will pick it back up in the top of the second with the Saints going in with a 0-0 ball game. Madison Ryder, who made an incredible catch out there in left field, will start us off here in the top of the second inning. Back-to-back base runners to begin the inning, and then Arcand slowed things down for herself and got a highlight play in center field and a strikeout to get her out of that inning unscathed. Still 0-0 as 8 innings today, and the Saints yet to put a run on the board. And Wheaton threw 8 as yet to allow a run. As here comes that sun back again. And playing peekaboo with us all afternoon, but getting a lot more sun than we have cloud cover, which is great. Which is pretty nice out right now, but when the sun does fade away, it does get a little chilly. Ryder goes into left field. Out is Weston. That's going to drop in front of her. And going to second base with a stand-up double is Madison Ryder to begin the inning. First double of the year for Ryder and of her career. First extra base hit. As Emma Crisafoli, who struck out to end the game in game number 1, trying to get revenge and have a better offensive showing here. Leans out of the way, but strike 2 either way. Fully fly out to right field twice, then that strikeout to end things. This one to Weston, and she has it deflect off her glove. They're going to send Ryder, and finally the Saints break the ice. Weston looked like she had it lined up. Then the ball just carried on her. Probably an error out there. But again, we'll wait for the official scoring. And Arcand gives the Saints their first lead of the day. First run of the day. Now a runner on second base in Crisafoli. And they will say E7. So as of right now, an unearned run on Ryder. Madeline Parrish makes her way to the plate. A 156 hitter, a freshman catcher from Andover, Massachusetts. Does have a pair of stolen bases and actually the first Saint to be caught all season. That must have slipped my mind when it went down. We made a couple points that no one had been caught all year. And, of course, thanks to the good arm of Sedia behind the plate for game one, got the first caught stealing of the year for any Saints ball player. Off the handle of the bat. Agan there to put it away. First out on a pop-up on Parrish. Here's Winstead, and then the top of the inning. Strike one. Winstead flew out, struck out. Originally was supposed to be the designated player in game one, but about 5 minutes until game time, coach made the switch, put her at third base and made Fernandez the DP, in which they started this game off as on the scorecard. In there, strike three. Second backwards K for Arcan today. And Amanda Penny singled her first time. They could use another single and put two on the board if they can. One run come across to score. Ryder doubled to lead off the inning. Then Krista Foley on second base because of an error by Weston out there in left field. Down low. Penny walks in game one to lead off the game. They leaded this one off with a single, but she has a good eye. Singled later on in that game as well. So trying to match a single and a walk like she did in game one, already up 3-0. You would assume with two outs and a runner on second base, they're going to put the take sign on here. They want to maximize their ability to drive that run home. She will take inside corner. Got it. And that's ball four. Sheilak, who singled after a pretty forgettable game one, trying to drive in another run and give the Saints a lead of 2-0. Steps into it and lets it go by. Smacks it into right field. Out is Molinari. In comes Rohan. She drops it. The run is going to come in to score, and just like that, runners on the corners, and 2-0 Saints lead. Two errors. Bring those runs in. As Penny on her horse gets to third base, and coming around the score is Krista Foley. And the defense letting down Arcand here in the second. Gonti to Weston, who finally puts the inning away. And two come across the score. Two errors on the Lions helped that happen, and now they are behind 2-0. Ashlyn Burt did not get to see her in game one. Here she is in game number 2. Burt yet to get a hit. 2 strikeouts, second all Kansas, and was part of 4 National Honor Societies in high school from Kansas. She is from Olathe, Kansas, I believe I'm saying that right. Is a pitcher as well. Hitting some at-bats here. 1 ball, 1 strike on Burt. Just outside for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike on Burt. Playing from behind for the first time today are the Lions. Kenzie Briggs trying to keep the Lions off the scoreboard. And gets a chase there on probably ball 4. And it's going to turn out to a P4 and the first out of the inning on Ashlyn Burt. Lindsay Oliveira, welcome to the plate for first time in game number 2. Lions always passing back and forth information. It's good habits by a good team. Jumps on that first pitch and gives it a good ride. Foul, however. It's on that changeup, and we'll replay a little deja vu here. Another pop up to second base. Amber Arcand, the third baseman slash pitcher. 333 average, a double 4 RBI, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk. So she can hold her own at the plate. And she'll get a chance to help her own cause today. Goes down to the ground, and that one comes up and in. Wind whipping again, coming in from right center field. Goes golfing on that one and into right field. Martineau's there, and a quick 1-2-3 inning for Briggs and company as they will go bat here on the top of the third now. So we got a whole new outfield, kinda. We have number 1. It's going to be Gabby Reinbold. Is going to make her way into right field. She will be replacing number 7, the flex position, Allison Weston, who made the error to begin the inning in left field. Moving over from right field into center field is going to be Rohan, and then moving over from center field back to left field is Zito. So Weston out. In comes Ryan Bold. She's still going to be the flex. She's going to play right field now. Rohan in center, and Zito will kick back over to the left field where she played all 7 innings of game 1. So that's it. That's all we got as of right now. And Martino grounded out to the pitcher in the first at-bat she had in the first inning. We'll see Arkin again and takes the first 2 for a ball. Popped up behind the Saints dugout. In there for strike 1 on the foul ball. Molinari there. She put it away. Fernandez kicks up some dust, gets into the box, and that one by her at about 720 miles per hour. Don't have an official radar gun, but trust me, it was about that speed. Arkin plays third base for a reason, has a big right arm. She blows it by her again. Why not change it up? I'd say cheese. Make her catch it. Fernandez catches up to that pitch, and Zito's there in her new position of left field. New old position, and a fly out to left field for Fernandez. Ryder, the first and only run of the day, or the first run of the day, excuse me. One of the 2 that the Saints have scored both throughout both games, and this one individually. Doubled opposite field the last time. Zito now patrolling left field again, so. And a Weston only. Managing to go through 2 defensive innings as the designated or the flex position in left field. And Gabby Rybold in there. This one just over the press box right behind me. One ball, 2 strikes. Let's see what Arkin does. He tried to beat her with heat or go soft. I'll go with heat. Another strikeout. And the first 1-2-3 inning of the day for Arkin as we move into the bottom of the 3rd here, about half hour in. We are ready to go here for the bottom of the third inning. Cody Shalfu here. We thank you for joining us. If it's just for this game, we appreciate it. And if you are sticking out through both games, we double appreciate it. This is going to be Riley Dolan, just her 8th start of the season as it grounds right back to me, unfortunately, and fortunately a fence, but I was on it. I would have made the play, trust me. 3 hits for her, all singles, a walk, 4 strikeouts, and a .214 batter. For the backup catcher, changeup doesn't offer at it. Goes chasing up high. This one settles down in right field, and Martino's there to put it away. First out of the inning is by Dolan, brings up Jillian Rohan, who had a triple and scored a run in the 5th inning of Game 1. Got them their 3rd run and really solidified things. Didn't need it as they ended that game winning 3-0. But couldn't hurt. Looks good on the base softball card at the end of the year. Outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Takes it for ball 2. Smacked. Conti there. Good glove put away. For second batter of the inning, brings up Juliet Zito. Zito first pitch swinging. This one popped up and foul. Zito, all-state and all-area in high school, is a double major, business and management and psychology. So doing the most both on the field and off of it. Getting her full experience here at Wheaton College. This one roped. Went to high school with a few Wheaton College alums, most notably on the baseball side of things. Nick Raposo, the latest in a decent line of pro prospects coming from Wheaton, and AAA Memphis right now from the St. Louis Cardinals system. He was a year ahead of me. And a year behind me, Zach Cleasis, who's now the pitching coach for Rhode Island College. We all went to high school. I played basketball with Zach for a year. I have some family that went to Wheaton, so it's nice I get to come to campus, check it out, get a few dollar dues to do what I love, and that's going to be it for the 3rd inning. 1 has reached, and that's it. The Lions offense yet to be seen here in game number 2. And just like that, we are back here. It is Crisafulli Parish and Winstead guaranteed in this inning. As Arcand, a tough second inning, but a very good third. She got a little mad and started throwing straight gas. Strike one on Crisafulli, who drove in the first run of the game after flying to left field, and an error by Weston. That one spoiled, fouled back. Another one fouled back. And another one. OPS about 800 coming into play today. Got one high in the first pitch that did not get a swing by Crisafulli in that at-bat. I don't think she swung at the first pitch. The last few she has swung and fouled them off. Stays on this one to left field again. This time Zito there to make the grab. And there is Madeline Parrish. From Andover, Massachusetts, the freshman catcher, 2 for 3 stealing bases. The first Saint to be caught all year. One pitch, one out. About as efficient as you can do it. Trying to think. I think the only way you can make it out without seeing a pitch would be if you bat out of order. I think. Bunt laid down and scooped up, and there it is. 1-2-3 inning here for the Lions defense, as Emmanuel yet to get anyone on the base since the second inning. So Ella Molinari, Peyton, Blackenheim, Brown, and Briegan, your 2, 3, 4, and what's now your heart of the lineup in modern-day baseball, softball. Molinari line out on a pretty spectacular grab by Madison Ryder out there in left field. Then an error as Blakenheim Brown reached on an error, and then a strikeout looking to end the inning in the first. Only one to reach a base so far. That was Blakenheim Brown with an error in the first. So I'll let you put that together. Let's just see if you pick up what I'm putting down. Here as we enter the back half of game number 2. Emmanuel still leads 2-0. A lead that Wheaton held against Emmanuel for about 95% of the game in game 1. Changeup is there. Just low. That was a beautiful pitch by Briggs, but just missed the zone. Good take by Molinari. Lucky she wasn't rung up there. Briggs working fantastically in the circle. As that's the first base hit of the game. Molinari goes down the line and dumps it in for a single. Seven up, 7 down, and that broke a streak. A 7-batter perfect streak that Briggs was working on. Again, came into the game and looking at the numbers. She said, all right, if Wheaton put 3 on a pretty good pitcher, then they could probably jump on Briggs. Conti only play would be to first. She'll make it. But it's been not the case, as Briggs has been working very effectively, very efficiently, and has been missing barrels. And that's the name of the game. Can you miss barrels? Here's Egan. Bree Egan playing third base. Making some defensive plays today. Struck out looking to end the first inning. Trying to make things right with a runner in scoring position, just 1 down. Checks her swing, but going, says the home plate umpire. Inside, no offer. 1 ball, 1 strike. Smacked. Conti dives by her. Coming around is Molinari. Play at the plate. Not in time. Moving up to second base is Egan. And that's going to be an RBI base hit for Egan. It is now 2-1. And Burt trying to tie this one up. Burt just 4 at-bats coming into play today, really going into the bench for this game. Popped up in her first at-bat. Outtakes ball 1. That's a lot of the regulars getting some rest. No Taylor Berry for this game. No Tobacco, who actually looks like her first set of games that she's been taken off. Chopper, foul. You getting Burt has only played in 4 games previous to today. Ryan Bold only playing in 2 games previous to today. Weston only getting into 6 games previous today. Dolan getting into just 8 games before today. And that is foul. Two balls, 2 strikes. That's high, full count. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out for Burt. Trying to get her first big hit of the season. Conti eats her up a little bit, but she's able to play it just fine. Two down now for Lindsay Oliveira. "23 hits, 5 of those being doubles, 1 home run, 19 RBI. Number 20 would be huge, and Conti for the third time this inning makes the play. Lions score. Molinari singles and Hagen singles are in, but 3 6-3 putouts end the inning there. 2-1 Wheaton clawing back. As we stroll into the fifth, again, we thank you for joining us here at WheatonCollegeLions.com, watching, or if you found us through Emmanuel's website, we welcome you in as well. All welcome here on the broadcast as 2-1 be the score. Emmanuel picking up 2 in the second inning, and then Wheaton picking up 1 just last half inning as Arcans working as the wind picking up. This one's trouble, but Juliet, wherefore art thou? Playing a fantastic left field today, both in game 1 and now for the majority of game 2. Side for a strike. Arcan has been very good. 2 errors in that second inning, which allowed that run to come across to score. Other than that, she's been pretty good. And speaking of pretty good, Sheilak responsible for driving one of those runs with that error, and now it's the third time she's gone on base, her second base hit. Waiting for that big hit by Conti. Had a double, which could have gone either double or error on it. It's been phenomenal in the field. Out in front, off her foot. That never feels too great. A good thing she has that Evo Shield shin guard. Again, we mentioned it earlier, but Brenna Morrissey just keeps coaching. Again, talking to Conti, telling her to keep her shoulders square to the plate. Her coaching staff also consists of Madison Rostello, her first season here, played at Niagara College for the last couple of years. Ellie Stevens, her first season up here, assistant coach at MIT where she played. It was the NUMAC Pitcher of the Year during her time there. On a pretty good set of MIT teams. And the team manager, Gwyneth Gagnon, a sophomore, graduate of 2026 most likely, and she's been helping out with the team. Have lost 3 games due to weather. The last 2 games were both wins against Elms in conference, and it took under 7 innings to complete them. 20-4 in 5 innings, and then 11-3 in 6 in the first game. And Conti pops up to her shortstop counterpart. 1 at Riviere and then lost to Riviere on the 13th. So back-to-back days they played games on the 13th and 14th this weekend. Got a day off yesterday, back at it again here. Again, they'd lose, 3 games in 3 series. Actually, I think one time they played a team once and then got the second game gone, and then another series completely wiped due to the weather. And I don't know about you, but the last few years it seems like the weather has been extraordinarily awful and weird. In Rhode Island near Providence, where I lay my head, we had, of the 21 weekends in summer, spring and summer, I think only 4 of them stayed dry the whole weekend. So there was rain at least one day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, for like 90%. As a great play, great pick by Blankenheim Brown, and that will do it for the top of the 5th. A couple more chances. Wheaton needs 1 run to tie this thing up. New pitcher / old pitcher alert, as Madison Marks going to come in and resume the rest of this game, so that potentially the day for Briggs, who I did not think pitched all too terribly. I actually thought she pitched pretty well on her day. It's going to end like this: 54 pitches, 4 innings, 1 run, 1 earned, 1 strikeout, 2 hits. I thought she was excellent. A little hiccup there in the previous inning in the 4th, and even then it was just 2 hits. The only 2 hits she gave up. So interesting to see this decision, but they're going to go back to Marks. Gave up 3, but still pitched pretty well in game 1, all things considered. I think this is where she got into trouble, though, is she has Arcand up 2-0 on the count. Didn't start all that many plate appearances with balls, and actually the 2 runs that scored in the 1st inning against her last game, they both started off the day on the first base due to a walk. So 2 walks turned into 2 runs, and right now has a 3-0 count on Arcand as the sun started to dip slowly. Yeah, this one just completely lost it. I will say with Marks, however, after she had that 1st inning, she settled right in. Was only using 2 pitches to get warmed up in between innings and really had settled down. So a runner on first to begin the day as Riley Dolan trots to the plate. And Marks, this is her your 7th time out of the bullpen this year. Has 10 starts if you add on to her starting appearance in game 1 where she went 6 complete. This one skips away, and Dolan now has Arkin on second to play with. Dolan's a .214 hitter, as the umpiring crew will now get together. Not sure what the talk was about, but it seems like everything is good. Played basketball as well as softball in high school, all county and academic all county her senior year. What a beautiful bunt. Throw to first base in time, coming all the way around, and scoring is Arkins. What a hustle play by the pitcher. Tie ball game. It was an extraordinary bunt, a great play behind the dish to get to first base. But still, all the way around, Arkins scores, and that's how you tie up this one, 2-2. What an electric play by the pitcher, Amber Arkand. Now it's going to bring up Rohan, and then the top of the order. And Rohan isn't your typical not great bat. She could be a leadoff hitter if she wanted to be, if coach wanted her to be. So really, this is kind of your top of the order coming up right now. From Southington, Connecticut. Adventure, probably 2.5 hours from here, roughly. Very familiar with the Southington area. 26 hits in 26 games last season for .356 average, a couple home runs, and had 11 doubles. Also a star on the field hockey team, a biochemistry with a minor in psych. Two balls, two strikes. And she goes down looking. Here's Zito. Second out of the inning. First strikeout since coming back into the game. Marks, and Zito lays off of it. Zito started the game in center field, made a crazy grab, and then moved over to left field where she played all 7 innings in game 1. And she's looking to draw a walk. 0 for 2 against Briggs. And was 0 for 1 against Marks with a walk, sack, fly. On the ground, Winstead fires to first base, and the Lions tie it up in exciting fashion. Whole new ball game here as we head to the 6th inning at Clark Field. So Saints now with some work to do. Held the lead since the second inning, just gave it up in the last half of this one. And now it is going to be a pinch hitter coming in, number 6, Sammy Hayes. She's going to pinch hit for Fernandez. So Fernandez's day is probably done with a strikeout and a flyout in this one. In game 1, it was a double play, a single, and a strikeout. And Sammy Hayes in game 1 had a single and 2 strikeouts, and now faces Arkin for the first time. Takes a strike. Swung through that one and just got a tip of it. Low. Hayes came into today with a .314 batting average, a .410 on base, a .373 slugging, at a double and a triple. Played volleyball in high school and is an elementary education major, and she will swing through that one for another strikeout, the 4th of the day for Arcand. Madison Ryder, a double and a run, and then a strikeout to end the 3rd. And that's been her day. Also made a pretty fantastic grab in left field. That one went straight back with some heat on it. Arkin really has an arm behind her. Can really toss it. Left that one high. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out here in the 6th. Saints have been put down in order since the 3rd inning, with one exception being the hit from Shellac in the 5th. $11 up, 10 down in that time frame. And both runs, I believe, unearned. This one going to find the outfield through the left side, and a single for Ryder, a 2-hit day for her in game 2. And we got another pinch hitter. Looks like number 12 is going to come up, Emily Rodriguez. All right, so it's going to be Rodriguez coming in for Krista Foley. Had a little confusion there, but we are all set. So now that I'm done writing that down, let's check on what Rodriguez has done. She's a 200 hitter right now. Hasn't got a whole bunch of playing time. From Lynn, Massachusetts, a forensic science major. Pops this one in, going to be well foul and out of play over there by the right side. two-time conference champ, team captain in high school as well, and trying to make a name for herself here in Boston. Swung through it. Larkin bringing the heat as she has all game. This is going to fall in the gap and will result in a single. So the pinch hitter does a job, and it's going to be another one. As they're going to have probably a couple of changes, so we'll wait for those to go through before we make that call. Okay, so here is what we got. Again, don't you love this sport? Everyone moving around. It is going to be Michaela Poison going to come in and bat here for Madeline Parrish. And then going back into the game at first base and now pinch running is going to be Krista Foley after Rodriguez pinch hit for her. Got it? Good? Clear? Awesome. We're moving on. Michaela Poison. Going to come in and try to drop down a bunt. They're going to appeal down and no strike, says the umpire. And a chopper to Arkin. She'll toss to first base. It's actually going to hit Poisson, and dead ball as that one rolls into the dugout, and doing the job and taking the lead back is Emmanuel. And no change here, thankfully, so let's just play it with Winstead. So to second base goes Poison. Scoring is Ryder. And coming across and out here as they try to squeeze. And we're all out. So a base running blunder and some confusion on the base paths. We'll take the timeout here and talk it over. And 3-2 now, Emmanuel in the lead. So we are back. Any confusion, it's out on a runner because she turned to go to second and then kind of danced around, faking back and forth. You only allowed either you go or you come back. You can't go, come back, and then decide to go again, and that's what the umpire in the field decided what was wrong with that and why she was called out. Back into the field is Krista Foley, who was out at the plate trying to go on the squeeze bunt. "14 back in the game, Madeline Parrish. Krista Foley back in there at first base like we mentioned, so everyone, after a hectic inning, everything's back to normal as much. Man, I enjoy calling softball, but the re-entry rule, as a baseball man myself, irks me a little bit, not going to lie. So Molinari is out. 1, 2, 3 to get back on track here. And that one is low for Peyton Blankenheim-Brown. Has single in game 1 and drove in a run for herself. And this one has grounded over to shortstop twice, reached on an error the first time and was out 6-3 the second time. This one she'll weigh on the back of her thigh, and she's a tough cookie. She's going to run it off. First hit by pitch all day by anybody, and that gets a runner on the unconventional way, but a runner on nonetheless. And time is called. Again, Mark has not looked as efficient as we last saw her. Egan drove in the first run of the game for the Lions, so used to clutch at bats. This one high and going to second base on the wild pitch is Blankenheim-Brown. Corners were in, and corners will stay in with Winstead way in as they're playing for a bunt. Parrish runs the ball back to the circle to get Blankenheim-Brown back to second base. She was dancing around a bit. Third base is exposed. Or the Winstead in. This one hit sharply but foul. 2 balls, 1 strike. A base hit here probably scores the run, ties this thing up. Blew it by her. Strike 2. Yeah, not sure what the decision was to pull Briggs. She was looking fine to me, a little dicey in the fourth, but even then it wasn't too bad. And they bring in the ace of their staff to try to lock in a win against a good opponent. And things backfire as it was a walk, a run on a sacrifice bunt, which was incredible to see. Can't wait to look at that play again a little later on, but staying alive, fouling that pitch off. Egan. Bert Oliveira up next if we can get there. Count is full. 3 balls, 2 strike, 1 out. Runner on second base. Down by 1. And left it. And picks up the walk. The second walk since Marks has re-entered the game. Burt looking for that big hit, pop up, ground out. Be her first RBI of the season if she could drive it in. Leaves it for a strike. It was a 2-0 lead for Emmanuel. And chipping away was Wheaton, picking up a run in back-to-back innings. This one on the ground to second base. Conti for one, back to first. No, sir. Double plays are rare in softball, and you see why. Just not that far from home plate to first base. And Oliveira trying to do damage here. Marks trying to strand that runner at third base. Popped up, right field. Martino's there, and strand the runner they will. So one last chance to add some insurance. And Wheaton will have one more chance. Try to find the answer to this one. In the seventh, 3-2, Emmanuel leads. You're going to have Amanda Petty in the top of the lineup, and hopefully a whole lot less changes. My scorebook looking messy. And if you've heard a broadcast of mine before, you know I do not like a messy scorebook. But we're back. It's going to be Penny and the rest as Arkin working on the complete game. Would still, however, be in line for the loss if nothing happens here. This one, foul back. Amber Arcand has 2 strikes on Amanda Penny. Penny a single and a walk, and then it took her till the 5th inning to fly out. Chopper, that's going to eat up third baseman Agan. And runner on to begin the 7th. Sure, that's going to go down as an error, even though it was a chopper, and it will be an E5. Already the 3rd error committed by this Lions defense. Bump popped up, and foul will be the call. Lucky Arkin almost touched that in fair territory as both her and Dolan went diving for it. .938 fielding, excuse me, that was the other team. A .949 fielding percentage isn't fantastic, but it's not a team that usually makes 3 errors a game. And that's what they have done here today. Pitch fouled away. Shellac a 1-2 count. A single, her first time and her last time up, and then wedged it in a reach on an E9 in the second. Conti on deck, runner on first. This one smacked. Foul ball. Top 7 here for Clark Field. Been a fun day of softball. Started around 3 o'clock today. This one taking a little bit longer than game 1. About an hour and a half old this game is. Started just before 5 o'clock. As we now passed 6:15. Chopper. Oliveira stops it. Not in time, apparently. I thought she got the runner, but apparently not. And we're going to see if they're going to give an error. And they will give an error. So we said last time, we're still waiting for that big hit from Conti, and this could be it. 3 runs on the board, no out, 2 runners on, and Conti now faces a similar position as she did to open up the contest, where it took a pretty sick diving play by Zito in center field at the time to get them out of the jam. Conti tries to drop one down, throwing to second base. A little tardy. Conti trying to catch everyone slipping. And she goes down swinging. Up top, unfair. Couldn't handle the heat. 4th strikeout by Arcans. Martino can't handle that gas. So after the strikeout, now 1 away, almost going 2 away. She just had that extra gear that she reaches back there and just lets it rip. Arcan has been fun to watch today. Even with all that, in line for the loss. So is the nature of softball. You can have an incredible performance and pick up the loss. You can get shelled and pick up the win. It's an odd sport. Just got a piece of it. And blew it by her, back-to-back Ks. Rearing back and striking out another batter, back-to-back strikeouts for the first time. Many pitchers had all game. All day, even, but considering game 1. Swung through and missed. Sammy Hayes still in. Batted last inning. Was the 4th strikeout of the day for Arcan, so I was a little behind. 5th and 6th just came by Conti and Martineau. So 2 errors to open up the inning. It seemed like that ticked off Arcan, and she blew it by Conti, blew it by Martineau, trying to blow it by Hayes. Full count for Hayes, the catcher in game 1 and getting a couple at-bats here in game 2. Waiting on deck is Madison Ryder, riding on a 2-for-3 day. The double, a single, 2 of the 3 runs scored. Blew it by her again! Touching levels you only dream about. The right arm of Amber Arcand is on fire. Throwing heat. However, Wheaton still has work to do. Last chance to get one at least on the board. They're trying to go home happy here. See if they can do it here from Clark Field. Amber Arcand, not just a pitcher, but a batter as well. The first batter that Marks faced, and she walked and came around to score on an incredible sacrifice bunt. How poetic would it be? She's kept herself in this game at the plate despite some defensive miscues. She got herself a run. Batting. Who better than to help your case than yourself? Left it high. Shuffles out of the way. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lets it go low. Conference Player of the Year in high school, her senior year. Editor-in-chief of her yearbook as well. Three-one count. Arcand is now run it full. Business and management major. And she goes down looking. Marks a big pitch, her second strikeout of game 2. Brings up Dolan. Huge pitch by Marks. Inside, Dolan backs away. Good eye at the plate. Dolan lets that one go low. Should be 2-0, 1 out. Marks trying to finish the job. Believe would be in line for the win. Sun peeks behind a cloud. In there for a strike. And lets it low, ball 4. So another walk, which has been an issue for Marks in particular, gives way to Rohan. Already has a triple off of Marks, excuse me.
Now batting, the center fielder, number 13, Julian Rohan.
That one left very high, almost a wild pitch. Good job by Parrish to get up and get that one. Crosses the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. Second strike. They're on a strikeout in the 5th. Ground out to shortstop in the 3rd here in game 2. First strikeout for Marks in game 2 was Rohan. Count is now full. One down, full count. This will find some grass. Over to second base. And in time. Again, kind of no man's land as Dolan had to wait for that to drop and couldn't get to second base in time. So technically a fielder's choice. 8-4, I believe, was covering the bag. And now 2 gone. And brings up one of the top hitters in this lineup, Juliet Zito. Has yet to reach base here in game 2. Did so a couple of times in game 1. First pitch, knocked back foul. Strike 2 over the heart of the plate. 2 strikes. Emmanuel trying to get out of it and go home with the split. Wheaton trying to pull some heroics out of their hats. Molinari, Blankenheim, Brown up next if we get there. 2 strikes, 2 outs. Down by 1 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Lions trying to avoid their 3rd straight series split. This one all the way in the backstop. A favorable bounce, but that will still allow the runner to move up due to the wild pitch. Now a base hit can potentially tie this one. Rohan, we know, can run. Blew it by her. Strike 3. 3rd strikeout of the game for Mark. She'll pick up the win, and that is all she wrote here for game number 2. Emmanuel picked up a couple in the 2nd, added another one late, and that's all they needed for this one, and a couple runs by Wheaton, but It's not enough, apparently. A couple hits by Shellac in game 2. Ryder, the real star, 2 runs, an extra base hit, and 2 hits. And, yeah, no RBI. All 3 runs unearned